Universal versus Disney World.
We are going through the resorts, the restaurants, the theme parks, the overall experience, and we're comparing Universal versus Disney World in Florida. Let's get into it. This video kind of was inspired by this article from Travel and Leisure magazine, and it says, hey, let's compare what to expect when you're going to Disney World versus Universal.
They say because Central Florida is the ultimate vacation destination for families. What do you think?
I kind of agree. You know, there's a lot of things to do when you go to California. There's Disneyland, there's Universal Studios Hollywood, but it is the place to be with families because there is so much to do in Central Florida.
I agree.
So this starts with the theme parks themselves. Walt Disney World, and this doesn't necessarily, our spin is going to be comparing the two and kind of picking which one is best for each category. This blog post doesn't do that. It just kind of gives you what to expect when you go to these different theme parks.
So it like bulks it out.
Yeah, so it says Walt Disney World is home to 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and shopping, dining, entertainment district. The land of Mickey Mouse. Guests can enjoy original park as Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and all the other things. They have the new Galaxy's Edge. It kind of just gives you a brief overview of what to expect when you go to Disney World. Universal Orlando theme parks has 2 theme parks. It has Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure, and it goes into Velocicoaster, Volcano Bay. So when you think about these 2 different theme parks, right? Disney World as a whole and Universal as a whole, when it comes to the theme parks themselves, nothing else, which one do you think is better?
Like if you just said, this is the question of the show, which one is better, and you're putting me on the spot?
No, for theme parks.
Okay. Oh, theme parks? I'm going to say Walt Disney World.
Okay, why?
Well, it's good. It's good. It's actually a great question because I do think Universal is giving Disney a run for its money, but I think Disney World will always remain that classic immersive experience. They do such a wonderful job of putting you in the story, immersing you in the land, whatever it might be. If you're in Magic Kingdom with the various lands, or if you're in Animal Kingdom, you really truly feel like you have traveled to Africa. So I think they have the number one spot, but I do think Universal is getting up there.
Well, when Epic Universe comes on, I think it's going to give Disney a really run for its money, and Disney hasn't had to really think about Universal that much over the years. But now, with all of these new things that Universal's coming up with, I think they really do have to think about it. So it's going to be...
Yeah, I think it's good to have some competition, right? It's how we got to the moon. I think that everybody needs a little bit of that fear of kind of being second best.
Yeah, if there's no push for Disney to do new things, why would they do new things?
Exactly.
Right? So I think Universal coming up with the Velocicoaster and adding the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Epic Universe is good for us who love Disney.
I agree. I think that, if anything, obviously it makes Central Florida as a whole that much better because there's so much to do, but I do think it's good for both parks having that edge. I think for the longest time, Universal has always been that second best compared to the Disney park. And lately they're growing and they're showing us that they too can immerse you in a story with Wizarding World of Harry Potter, for an example, and really give you that experience from start to finish, just like Disney has done so well over the years.
I'm going to give you my 2 cents. I think from age 0 to 10, Disney World by far is superior.
Yeah.
I think for kids in their teenage years, 13, 14 to 20.
You're being really specific.
Yeah, I am. Universal is probably a better place to take them because there's more thrilling things. And I think kids need to get over the fact that Disney maybe isn't what they think is cool, right?
Yeah, I do think it's a stepping stone if you're having an issue where your teens are just feeling the pressure of maybe being embarrassed by going to Disney because it's like, a lot of focused on Disney princesses and things like that. And it makes the kids have a little bit of, I don't want to say maybe angst. I don't know, but they don't want to do what their parents tell them
when they're 14, 15, 16 years old, they probably don't want to tell their friends they're going to Disney World again. But they can go to Universal. And then once you get past that hump, I think Disney World is better again. So I think Universal beats Disney in that teenage years.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next thing. The next thing they talk about is... So we did theme parks themselves. They talk about the resorts.
The resorts.
And the hotels. So Disney World has a lot more resorts and hotels than Universal Orlando does. But Universal Orlando is building these resorts that are a little bit more affordable than Disney.
So they're saying Walt Disney is home to over 24 resorts across its 27-acre property, ranging from value to deluxe accommodations, which the deluxe are getting pricey.
Well, hold on a second, because the value is value compared to their moderate and their deluxe, but it's not really a value resort.
Well, it is. It's a hotel that to me, a value resort, or it's like when you're staying in a hotel that opens out to the outside, like your door.
Yeah, but it's still a great resort, and it's expensive, so there's no value there.
I was just going to say, we were pricing out a couple of values recently, and I know it's getting peak season in the sense of the holidays are coming up, so even values are tending to be a little bit more pricey than, I guess, we're used to, but everything is up nowadays. So
well, listen, Universal isn't much cheaper, but what I'm saying is Disney does have a larger variety of resorts to choose from.
So Universal Orlando has 8 on-site resorts that range from value hotels to luxury properties, all within walking distance of the parks. I don't know about that.
Well, they are more of in walking distance than Disney resorts are.
I guess that's true.
They're all similar. Like you can.
I just don't want to walk.
Yeah, you can walk from any Universal resort to anywhere on Universal property within relatively, I don't want to say short amount of time, but within a reasonable amount of time.
So it seems like there's obviously a lot more options in Walt Disney World with the moderate to the deluxe to the value, whereas obviously Universal has only 8. 3 deluxe resorts: Hard Rock Hotel, Loews Portofino Bay, and Loews Royal Pacific Resort. And by the way, I forget where I read it, but the Loews Royal Pacific was featured as one of the top hotels ever.
Like really? Ever.
Just like a top hotel in the U.S.
Wow.
I got to find out where I read it. I know I didn't dream it. It's real.
Follow us on Twitter, WDW Unlock Magic. We'll share the link out when Connie finds that. Here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
The thing that Universal does better than Disney when it comes to resorts is, other than a couple low value resorts at Universal, you could pool hop it at Universal. Did you know that?
I didn't until recently, and I will say that would be a game changer for our family because we like to break the rules.
That's great. Like, I think that's a great thing. Disney should do that. So that's where Universal beats Disney when it comes to. So in your opinion, what do you think is better, Universal hotels, resorts, or Disney hotels and resorts?
Well, you had me at pool hopping and all that jazz. I'm still going to say Disney resorts. I think they have the better accommodations. I think they have, it's just so nice to be able to choose from so many. And for us, I know, or what I like to tell others is that it really is, your vacation can be very unique and different depending on where you stay at a Disney resort. So the theme that they do at the resort, for an example, you really do feel like you've traveled to New Orleans when you're staying at the French Quarter. And to me, that gives it the entire vibe of the vacation is themed around that. And I think it's so important to choose the theme that you want for that particular vacation, but it's so also cool that there's so many.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the options available, Disney beats Universal.
Definitely.
But when it comes to the perks, for some of these resorts, Universal seems to be beating Disney, or at least is a little bit smarter about attracting guests there versus before.
Well, when you only have 8, maybe that's the thing. They're like, you know what? We definitely don't have a lot. Certainly we can't bring you to the Polynesian, right? And make you feel like you're really on a tropical getaway. However, we can do this. Give you all these perks.
Good point. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now we're going to talk about rides and attractions.
Rides and attractions.
Disney World versus Universal. Not Disney. Disney versus Disney, that's different. That's a different podcast we're going to do there.
We could definitely do that sometime.
So Disney does a great job of building these immersive storytelling attractions. They're not the most thrilling attractions in the world, although they are coming out with Tron. They have Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, but they're not the most thrilling roller coaster style attractions.
Okay.
But they do a great job of entertaining you and putting you in the story.
Okay, I guess if you're saying generally speaking, right? Because obviously there's definitely a lot more coming, or a lot newer things happening in Disney. But you're right. In general, it's not a lot of thrills.
What is Disney World now? What is their, if you had to say, like, if you talked about one attraction that you'd get somebody excited to go there, which one is it?
For Walt Disney World?
Yes.
Probably Galaxy. Other than
Like Rise of the Resistance, that's a great attraction.
Yeah.
It's new, but it's not thrilling.
True.
It's immersive, but it's not thrilling. On the alternative, if you talk about Universal, you could say Velocicoaster.
True.
You could say Hagrid's Motorbikes.
You could say that.
Like those are great, thrilling attractions that are a little bit immersive and thrilling.
Okay. I like that. I think that you bring up a good question. I do think Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, though, is one of those.
Yes, for sure. People have said that's one of the best coasters they've ever been on.
I think that question can be answered right there. And maybe Tower of Terror.
True.
But it is storytelling again. Like, you're right. It's a different thrill, though.
What Disney does have, though, back to like the whole perk thing, is they are more size inclusive when it comes to like who can ride the ride.
And that I totally appreciate. And it's great that not only is it size inclusive, but there are a lot more attractions. Seems like you can get your whole family to join with you. So that to me makes it a better experience. This one's difficult.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe if you are a small family with young children, Disney's going to be the place to go.
Yeah, but also even excluding that fact, young children, it's like, I really do appreciate the storytelling, and I really do love sometimes not getting off on a ride and not having my head kind of jumbled.
That's true.
You know? Like,
all right, so let's
like
do this. If you're 12 and under, Disney wins. If you're 12 to 20, Universal wins. 20 plus, Disney wins again.
In your opinion.
That's true.
Okay, in my opinion, I think Disney wins all in all. I think that Universal is super awesome at giving you that adrenaline pump that I think everyone loves, especially when you're waiting a long time to get into line, to get onto the ride. You want that feeling to last forever when you're done riding. You don't want it to be super quick because then it feels like you waited in line for nothing. That being said, even with Hagrid's Motorbike, sometimes I come off and I'm like, I'm still catching my breath because it's so fast that I have a hard time just relaxing after it. Whereas Disney, when I'm on Space Mountain, I'm having fun. It's a thrill. And then when I get off, I'm still really pumped and happy, but my body doesn't feel like it's about to kind of break down on me. So, and I don't think it's an age thing because I've been like this my whole life.
Yeah, I guess it's a what you like thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to restaurants. Now, I think this one's going to be really close. For me, when it comes to restaurants, Disney wins just by the sheer number of different restaurants that they have.
I do think they have a lot more, again, immersive restaurants as well. I think they do a wonderful job. Maybe the food isn't always 5 stars, but they're feeding a ton of people, right?
Yeah.
These chefs, these restaurants have a lot of people to handle in and out. I think I go for Disney experience for food more for the whole ambiance and experience more than anything else. I think they do beat Epcot.
Yeah, so this one's pretty quick. I think when it comes to restaurants.
Yeah, like when you think Epcot.
You think food.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing you think. So,
Okay.
all right, last one they're going to talk about in this article is special events. Halloween party, Christmas party, Halloween Horror Nights. These are the events. Mardi Gras that Universal has. Each one of these resort areas have these special events that they throw. Disney seems to have a little bit more because they have obviously more parks to do events at. So they have all the festivals at Epcot. They have the Halloween party. They have the Christmas party. They have after hours events, villain parties. They have so much going on. Universal, on the other hand, has a lot as well. But I feel like Disney, to me, has better special events. Now, they're a little bit more pricey, but they are better.
So for Disney, we have the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We have the Christmas party as well. There are also after-hour events. We've done a Villains Night, which was really fun. Epcot, of course, has all these festivals throughout the year, and I've discussed how I seemingly can't do Epcot without a festival going on.
They've trained you to do that.
It really has. But Universal is adding some things that I think, like when we saw Mardi Gras celebration, that was pretty cool. Seeing the live jazz music, the cool cuisine, back to food, right? So they are adding things that make it much more enhanced for your experience. So I definitely think that was cool. I'm still I don't know. Maybe after we do a Halloween Horror Night, I can answer this specifically.
I think Disney wins, hands down. They have so much more. It's obviously more expensive at Disney. Like a Halloween Horror Nights ticket for a not peak time, right? Like not the week of Halloween is like $79 right now.
Right.
Disney's Halloween event is $130. So it's almost twice the amount. Do you get twice the experience? Maybe, but it's for everybody versus Halloween Horror Nights is not for everybody.
That's a good point that I didn't recognize, I guess.
So it's a little bit cheaper to go to Halloween Horror Nights, but half your family may not want to go.
Yeah, half being me.
That being us, right?
Even though I love Halloween, I'm all about Halloween. I'm not super into horror.
Now, I've heard good things about Halloween Horror Nights where there are places for people who don't like to get scared can go and enjoy their experience there.
But
and we'll
you
report
want-
back on that because that's definitely us.
Right, but I get it. You do want, it's like a no-brainer, right? It's like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party really is a lot of that spooky fun that's just beautiful in a way. Like,
Yeah, I put it this way.
things-
If you
yeah.
go up, if you have a family of 5 and you go to them all and you're like, hey, we're going to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, they're all going to be like, yes. And if you say to them, same scenario, hey, we're going to Halloween Horror Nights, 3 of them may be like, what?
I'm not ready for this.
I don't know if I want to go to that. Let me Google it.
My anxiety is on.
You know, so I
Gonna be
think in
triggered.
that regard, I think Disney has it beat. It's a little bit more inclusive.
Yeah. So did we tally these up or how
Yeah,
are we
so
doing?
theme parks, I think we both overall say Disney wins. Hotels, Disney wins. I'm going to say attractions-wise, Universal wins right now.
Okay, I'm saying Disney.
Restaurants, we both said Disney because of the sheer number of them. And then events, again, because of the number and the more inclusiveness, Disney wins. So overall, Universal, great place to go. But if you have a family and you are looking to spend the time together, I think Disney may be a better place.
I think I agree.
But Universal isn't a one-and-done day anymore.
I think that's what's been the game changer overall is if you talked to me a while ago, I would have probably laughed at even trying to compare the two here, right? And now I think they're doing, I think ever since probably the pivoting point was when they opened the Wizarding World of Harry Potter,
Yes.
it really showed us what they could do. And I think that shocked
I
everybody.
mean, they did a Wizarding World of Harry Potter better than Disney did Galaxy's Edge.
That is something. That might be something we should compare.
That'll be another episode for another day.
Write that down.
Right, I'm writing that down.
Okay.
Let us know
so-
what you think. If you've been to Universal or Disney, which one you prefer, which one you think wins along these categories. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.